Tonight, Arizona is buzzing as many prepare to cast their vote in the primary election. With less than 2 weeks until ballots are due, the candidates are bringing out all the stops to secure your vote.
Team 12's Jonathan McCall is live in Prescott, where former President Trump is meeting with supporters to try to secure the vote for Kari Lake.
And Team 12's Bram Resnick is back in the 12 News studio as former Vice President Mike Pence heads to Tucson after a rally with Karen Taylor Robeson in Peoria. First, though, we want to get straight out to Jonathan McCall. And Jonathan, Lake supporters have been lining up since early this morning to get their spot at that rally.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Tram and Mark. You know, some of those folks have actually been camping out overnight to be first in line to be able to get inside of the Toyota Finley arena here in Prescott Valley. As you can see, folks have started flooding in to the arena to begin hearing the speakers, the very first of which we are expected to hear in just a matter of minutes. We got a chance to talk with hundreds of folks earlier today about exactly why they decided to come out here to hear former President Donald Trump give his seal of approval for these candidates running for major political offices here in Arizona. The former president is expected to speak at around 7 o'clock tonight. But a few moments ago, we got a chance to catch up with gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake, who talked a little bit about the divide within the Republican Party right now, with her receiving her endorsement from the former President Donald Trump and former Vice President Mike Pence, who is also here in Arizona giving his seal of approval to her her rival. Here's what she had to say.
I'm really disappointed in him because I actually thought he was a more honorable man. But he's on the wrong side of this. I frankly think an endorsement from Mike Pence and an endorsement from Doug Ducey is the kiss of death.
With about 11 days to go until primary election night, a lot of folks that we talked with here say they are still very much undecided about which way they will go in the Republican gubernatorial race. Some of them came here tonight hoping to get their final seal of approval. They say what they hear on stage could make or break their vote when they head to the ballot box on August 2nd. We'll hear more from those folks coming up tonight on 12 News at 5 o'clock. But just a few moments ago, a big round of applause for former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who is also here showing his support for former President Donald Trump and some of the other candidates who are also scheduled to speak here tonight. Among those, also including Republican Senate candidate Blake Masters. Both Lake and Masters currently leading in many polls in their respective races. Much more to come tonight on the scene unfolding here in Prescott Valley tonight on 12 News at 5. We're live this afternoon in Prescott Valley. Jonathan McCall, 12 News.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. Back here in the Valley, former Vice President Mike Pence was throwing his weight behind Lake's opponent, as you just heard, Karen Taylor Robeson, at a luncheon in Peoria.
Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick was there. And Bram, what did he have to say?
Well, former Vice President Mike Pence headlined a noon hour taco lunch in Peoria for Kari Lake's opponent, real estate developer Karen Taylor Robeson. Pence and Taylor Robeson took a lot of shots at Lake, but they barely mentioned her champion and Pence's former boss, Donald Trump.
Arizona Governor Doug Ducey got the 400 guests fired up. He's throwing the weight of the Republican establishment behind Taylor Robeson. Polls show Lake, a former TV anchor, with a roughly 4-point lead. Pence, who entertains his own presidential ambitions, was here to help Taylor Robeson close the gap. Pence echoed her TV attack ads, questioning whether Lake, a former Obama supporter, was ever a loyal Republican.
Karen's opponent put on her Facebook page that our inauguration day would be a, quote, national day of mourning and protest. She actually encouraged people to not only join local protests, but boycott TV coverage and use the hashtag #NotMyPresident. Really, Kari?
Now, Mike Pence did not mention the dramatic January 6th hearings in Washington. Testimonies reveal that Donald Trump did nothing to protect his vice president from the mob's attack on the Capitol. Pence didn't respond to my questions after today's event. Live in the Alert Center, Bram Resnick, 12 News.